What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Tuesday evening. So, the Real Housewives of Atlanta star Porsha Williams, her ex-husband Simon Guobadia, has been released from ICE detention and has been deported back to Nigeria. So, Portia's estranged husband Simon Guobadia was released from ICE custody and deported back to his home country after spending months at a detention center. Us Weekly can exclusively report. Guobadia's friend and business partner Ty Savet tells us that the Nigerian born businessman was sent on a flight back home a couple days ago. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security website no longer lists Guobadia as being in their system. Us also obtained a selfie taken by Simon on Monday, June 9th. Savet said that Guobadia, who's 61 years old, was in good spirits after a tough experience at the detention center, which was the first time that he had ever been behind bars. Savet added that Guobadia is not mad at President Donald Trump and would like to have a sit down with him. Guobadia said that his team launched a new business where they will be selling shirts that will help the people in ICE custody. Back in February, Williams' ex was taken to the Stewart Detention Center in Lumpkin, Georgia, about 2 hours outside of Atlanta, as part of the government's mass deportation efforts. Guobadia moved to the United States in 1982 but reportedly overstayed his visa. He left the country but came back and overstayed his visa a second time. WSB-TV reported that Guobadia was deported in 1992 but was granted permanent residency status the same year when he used an undisclosed identity. He attempted to obtain citizenship over the years but was shut down each time. Because we know that after you get kicked out, came back, kicked out, came back, now he has like aliases and things like that. They're not going to give you citizenship, Simon. Williams, who's 43, filed for divorce from Guobadia in February 2024 following 15 months of marriage. The exes went back and forth for months over Williams' request for exclusive use of their marital home. The judge sided with Williams and ordered that she could live in the home until a final decision is reached in the divorce. The exes are set to face off at a divorce hearing later this week, with Guobadia being allowed to appear via video due to his deportation. The reality star and her ex are fighting over the prenuptial agreement they signed before they walked down the aisle on November 25th, 2022. The hearing has been postponed several times, partly due to Guobadia's detention. After he was taken into custody, Guobadia asked for the hearing to be postponed to allow him time to attend. His lawyer argued that the motion to enforce the prenuptial agreement is a motion that requires the findings of fact by this court. The outcome of the court or the motion will also have a substantial effect on how the remainder of the divorce case proceeds, as it may have some other issues that result in litigation on others. The judge granted Guobadia's motion and rescheduled the hearing for June 11th. I think, oh, wait a minute, that's today in this 12:01. So I'm making this late at night, but I have to keep us posted. Okay. The order instructed ICE agents to transport Guobadia to the hearing if he was not released. For her part, Porsha Williams filed a motion requesting permission to attend the hearing via video. The Real Housewives of Atlanta star, her lawyer told the court that Williams is a well known reality television personality, a career in which last minute travel and unexpected opportunities frequently arise. He continued that Williams shows this employment opportunity would help Williams offset the numerous financial obligations that Guobadia has failed to maintain under the temporary order, as well as to offset the significant legal expenses that Williams has already incurred in pursuing enforcement of the parties' prenuptial agreement and defending herself against Guobadia as it relates to the instant divorce action. I'm only laughing because the lawyer, put that in there like I need my money ASAP. I know that's right. The lawyer said, cut the check. Me first. Williams shows that her request for a virtual appearance is made in good faith and reflects a balancing of her professional obligations and the serious nature of these proceedings, not a desire to delay or further complicate the instant litigation, the reality star's attorney argued. The judge has yet to rule. So I have to keep us updated. I will say this. I think that it is wonderful that Simon wants to meet with with President Donald Trump. But if he knows anything about, Trump and his policies, particularly those geared toward Nigerians, I feel like he should really sit down and, rethink that statement. Um, but this is going to be interesting. So I have to keep us, posted in regards to their divorce proceedings. I feel like Porsha does have the upper hand because ultimately Simon has been deported from the country. So, and I don't think that he's going to be allowed to be back when Simon was leaving and coming back under an alias or not. ICE was not formed back then in the 80s and the 90s. Now Simon, he's an old school Nigerian scammer, okay. But like I said, this was before the formation of ICE. So now that we have the ICE um, agency, and they are really hyper focused on mass deportations. Um, I doubt that he'll be allowed to come back in the country, but that's just my speculation. Who knows? This is not Simon's first rodeo, so I mean he might even get that sit down with Donald Trump. He is a reality star, Trump and Simon. So um, he does like people who are on TV. So who knows? He may have an opportunity to sit down with them. But anyway, I am really looking forward to see. This is what I feel like they should be talking about on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But I feel like even before they have the opportunity to get there or even ask Porsha about Simon, she bolts, right? Anytime she's sitting down with any of the ladies and they ask her, I feel like any question that might make her uncomfortable, instead of dealing with the situation and the issue head on, she runs from any type of confrontation. So it'll be really interesting to see, like I said, how this plays out. But or how, even the rest of the season goes. Who knows? I don't know if Drew or any of the other, housewives will ask Porsha. I feel like the closest was Kelly when she asked her at the beginning of the season, why'd you steal that lady's husband? Baby, when I tell you, you reap what you sow, because I know Porsha wishes that she had never even thought about taking Simon from Fallon, okay? Simon was a mess and a half. Do you hear me? Oh my goodness. Simon said he is not new to this. He is true to this. Okay, now he's requesting a sit down dinner with the president himself. Boy, I tell you what, listen, aim high in life, people. If they kick you out of a country, no, I'm joking. I wouldn't advise anybody to do what Simon did. But Simon, he said that he's on his way back. He's gonna find a way. He wants to sit down with Trump. So hey, but I am looking forward to hearing the details of their divorce proceedings to see if the prenup is going to be, honored, because the judge has yet to make a decision. Um, to hear their lawyers. I don't know how open the court case will be. I'm sure it's probably not as transparent as like the Diddy trial, or that big of a spectacle, to be honest. But I am interested to see. I don't know if Porsha will be able to keep the house. I know she started a YouTube channel, so and you know what, that YouTube, that like housewife to YouTuber pipeline really should be studied, because I feel like almost all of them, Portia, Nene, and now Kenya, has started hers. She an episode just came out. Life twirls on. So But listen, get your coins, ladies. I'm not mad at it. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts about Simon being released from ICE and now he's back in Nigeria. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Have a good night. Bye.